New content, new setup, I guess. Justin, Library Chess Productions, movie review for Wes Anderson's Isle of Dogs. Isle of Dogs is a stop motion animation which is set in Japan in the near future and follows Atari Kobayashi, the adopted nephew of Mayor Kobayashi of, I believe it was Megasaki City in Japan. Now, the mayor of this city in Japan has basically outlawed all dogs. He has rounded up all the dogs in Japan, claiming that there is a canine overload, a canine epidemic, and taken all the dogs and moved them to this trash island dubbed the Isle of Dogs. Atari Kobayashi travels to Trash Island, or the Isle of Dogs, to try to find his missing dog. When he arrives, he befriends a pack of 4 former pets and a stray, so a pack of 5 dogs, led by Chief the Stray. Now, if you've ever followed movie reviews of mine in varying different places, whether they're on Facebook, on Criticker, on the blogs, stuff that I've done with the movie awards, you can probably guess 2 places that I'm going to go with this movie. Number 1, oh my god, this animation is beautiful. This is such a vivid and gorgeous movie. It looks so great, especially up on a big screen. And 2, I am such a sucker for the Japanese aesthetic, and I am completely unapologetic about that. See Kubo and the Two Strings from a couple of years ago. Incredible movie, but, you know, anything sort of set in Japan, and especially when you combine it with that animation style, I'm in. Another thing I'm realizing that I'm a real sucker for is these simplified stories of the hero's journey. That's literally all that Isle of Dogs is. It's you have your hero, Atari Kobayashi, and it's his journey to find his missing dog. It's literally just the hero's journey, but a great man once said that all great stories boil down to the hero's journey. So if you ever hear anyone complaining about a simplified story, give them a good smack. Do it for me. The one undeniable feeling at the end of this movie for me is I realized about 25 minutes in, it's about an hour and 40 minutes long, I realized about 25 minutes in that I had been smiling since the opening shot of the movie. Constantly. I had just been smiling for the entire length of the movie, and I didn't stop smiling until that movie was over. That movie literally made me smile from second 1 to the end of the credits. And I found myself laughing a lot too. I think if you compare it to other Wes Anderson comedy movies, I don't necessarily know that the comedy itself holds up to other entries, even like Fantastic Mr. Fox, and we're going to get there. I don't think it's quite as funny as that movie, but I'm still laughing. And I'm laughing at like really understated jokes and, you know, the gimmicks in the movie. And there's one in particular, kind of a running gag in the movie that I think some people, it got old for them. It didn't get old for me. It was funny every single time it happened. And I found myself laughing like a really good amount for what was, you know, not strictly a comedy movie, but certainly had comedy elements in it. And quite frankly, I just enjoyed myself in this movie so much. It was so enjoyable while not being on the level of a Fantastic Mr. Fox. But look, very few movies are on the level of a Fantastic Mr. Fox for me. I look at it this way. You look at a guy like, I'm going to take this back to sports because that's my thing. I'm going to say, like, I'm going to look at a guy like, who's a great defenseman in the NHL right now. Like, okay, Erik Karlsson. You know, you look at Erik Karlsson and you're like, yeah, man, Erik Karlsson's great, but, you know, he's no Bobby Orr. Well, you know, nobody's Bobby Orr. Like, Bobby Orr is Bobby Orr, and that's where it ends. And, like, very little, if anything, is Fantastic Mr. Fox. It's such an incredible movie. But this movie doesn't have to be Fantastic Mr. Fox. It doesn't even have to compare favorably to Fantastic Mr. Fox in order to be a great movie. And this is a great movie. Folks, Isle of Dogs, I give it the business. And that was a very difficult thing to do with this movie because I found the one theater in my entire province that was playing this movie. So what I can tell you is I give this movie the business. I would give it my business multiple times. If this movie is playing in a theater near you somewhere, please support it. It's a great movie. It's such a great time. It would probably even be good for kids, but you may want to sort of maybe stay away from that. I can't think of the rating right off the top of my head, but it was such a good movie and it was so enjoyable. And I'm just like, if I can smile for an hour and 40 minutes straight, that movie has been something special. So look, I give it the business, and you should too. There you go, folks. Movie reviews are off and running. Justin, Library Chess Productions, and we will see you next time. And hopefully, see you at the movies.